Fever dog! Woo! Woo! Fever! Good dub. Ugly, but we found a way to win. Woo.
Here's a revenge that'll give you chills. After getting out-rebounded and out-muscled in a close loss to the Atlanta Dream on May 20th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever flipped the script just 2 days later. In their May 22nd rematch, the Fever dominated the paint, outscoring the Dream 46-20 inside and holding Brittney Griner to just 5 points before she fouled out.
Hey, Steph. This question is for you. I just wanted to talk about what you saw out of your team that was different from Tuesday. Obviously, it's a quick turn, but how did you feel like your adjustments paid off on the court?
I felt like our defensive energy, physicality, disruptiveness was better. We made it more difficult for them, moving the ball around the perimeter. We executed better in our ball screen defense. Felt like we had each other's back a little bit more.
The same team that narrowly lost at home came to Atlanta and delivered a statement win in the most satisfying way possible. This kind of quick turnaround and sharp adjustment shows exactly why the Indiana Fever are built for championship runs. Stick around. We're also breaking down the heated scuffle between Caitlin Clark and an Atlanta Dream player, including the shocking words exchanged during the clash. What did this win reveal about Clark's ability to lead a team stacked with all-stars and capable scorers on any given night? Drop a fired up for the Fever in the comments if you're proud of this victory. Let's go.
There's one thing this Indiana Fever team has shown us they will do this year. It's not quit on the game. The Indiana Fever down early, come back, take the lead. Down late, come back, take the lead. The only difference between tonight's outcome and Tuesday's outcome is a letter.
Picture this. Just 2 days before the revenge game, the Indiana Fever walked off the court at Gainbridge Fieldhouse feeling completely deflated after a crushing 91-90 loss to Atlanta. It wasn't just another close game that slipped away. It was a kind of defeat that lays bare every flaw and weakness in the team.
Yes, this stinks. We want to win this game. But, I think this is great for our team. A little adversity. How are we going to respond? How are we going to come in here tomorrow morning and watch the film and learn and get on the court and get better? And like I said, that's why this league is so great. You have a couple days and then you get right back to it. You find a way to respond. We have a chance to go there and play them, actually. So it's even better, I guess. We can, get a little redemption if we go down there and play well.
That loss wasn't just another regular season stumble. It exposed every weakness the Fever had been trying to mask. Atlanta came into Gainbridge Fieldhouse and dominated in ways that should have been unthinkable on Indiana's home court. The Dream out-rebounded them, overpowered them in the paint, and made it all look effortless. Brittney Griner did exactly what was expected against Indiana's smaller lineup, scoring at will for 21 points. The Fever had no answer for her size or presence. Meanwhile, Ryan Howard added 20 of her own, slicing to the defense from every angle. The Dream capitalized on nearly every opportunity, going 25 for 32 from the free throw line, while the Fever struggled, hitting just 16 of 26, misses that proved costly in a 1-point game.
They shot 32 free throws. It's a lot of free throws. It's going to be difficult to win a lot of games when we foul people that much and put them at the line that much. It's tough. They made 25 out of 32. We still went to the line 26 times, missed 10. So that's the game really right there. It obviously doesn't come down to that, but it's just a little thing.
But here's what most people missed about that loss. The Fever weren't just losing, they were learning. Head coach Stephanie White admitted after the game, "I don't feel like we match up well with them." She saw firsthand the Dream's Olympians, their perimeter talent, size, and experience. But White and her staff weren't discouraged. They were already scheming. That loss wasn't the end. It was the blueprint.
Fight, the toughness that we showed, our ability to stay together. Our bench was really engaged in every timeout and in every huddle. We were all engaged.
The players walked out of that locker room with a different kind of energy, one that didn't feel like defeat. And over the next 48 hours, everything changed. That crushing home loss became the fire that fueled one of the most satisfying road wins of the season. The question was never if the Fever would bounce back. It was how they'd make Atlanta pay for embarrassing them on their own floor.
Tuesday, we couldn't seal the deal. We lost it at the free throw line. Tonight, we sealed the deal. Tonight, we took the lead late in the fourth after being down 75-71 with 3 minutes left. We take the lead and we don't look back. The Indiana Fever leave the ATL with an 81-76 victory, and this game was pretty. Man, this game was pretty. Pretty ugly.
Here's something that would have terrified Fever fans just a few months ago. Caitlin Clark went 0 for 5 from three-point range and shot just 4 of 11 from the field overall. Her 11 points were well below her usual standard. IT was the first time since January 13, 2022, that Clark finished a game without hitting a single three-pointer, marking the first time since her sophomore year at Iowa that she was held scoreless from beyond the arc.
What a win for the Indiana Fever against the Atlanta Dream. Good teams win ugly, and that was what was most impressive to me about the Fever's performance against the Dream.
On most teams, when your superstar struggles like this, especially on the road, you're likely staring down a blowout loss. Caitlin Clark picked up 5 personal fouls, limiting her impact on both ends of the floor and forcing her to sit out during key stretches. Any team that relies solely on its star would have crumbled under these circumstances. But the Fever aren't just any team.
But getting in foul trouble early, I think, messed up her rhythm, and she didn't really have her legs, because it certainly was one of the worst performances of Clark's career from a production standpoint offensively. First time in her career she didn't hit a 3. So nothing to write home about from Cece. But that's okay, right? Even when, that's happening, game's on the line, she's got the basketball. She's got the basketball, manipulates the defense, gets it to AB, who puts it away.
But this is where the 2025 Fever proved they've evolved into something far beyond what anyone expected. With Caitlin Clark struggling, Natasha Howard rose to the occasion, delivering a game-high 26 points on a scorching 12 of 17 shooting performance. This wasn't just a bounce back. It was a statement that the Fever have depth, resilience, and the firepower to win even when their star isn't shining.
Shout out to Natasha Howard, I will say. You didn't have a good game last game. You bounced back today. If I'm the Atlanta Dream coach, I'm going into tonight with a game plan. Folks, make Natasha Howard beat us. Don't let Caitlin Clark beat us. Don't let Kelsey Mitchell beat us. Don't let Aaliyah Boston beat us. Make Natasha Howard beat us. And Natasha Howard, she took on that challenge and she came through. Let's just think back a year ago. Who's that going to be? Katie Lou? Nope. Erica Wheeler? Nope. Nalissa Smith, you make me laugh.
This performance completely wiped away the memory of Howard's rough outing in the previous game against Atlanta. She took over in the second half, pouring in 18 points, including a game-shifting 13 in the third quarter alone. On top of that, she grabbed 7 rebounds and stepped up exactly when the Fever needed a leader on the floor.
That's why we at least go out and get somebody like a Natasha Howard that when Caitlin Clark, Kelsey, and AB aren't hitting, when Caitlin Clark, Kelsey, and AB are getting hoed with fouls, there's somebody there that's competent offensively that can keep us in the game. And Natasha Howard, you did just that. 26 points, 7 rebounds. Way to go, Natasha Howard.
Sophie Cunningham's return from an ankle injury was nothing short of seamless. In just 20 minutes, she scored 9 points and grabbed 6 rebounds. Cunningham hit her first three-pointer of the season and ignited an 11-0 run that put the Fever back in front. Her energy was felt on both ends of the floor, even drawing an offensive foul in the final seconds, proving her impact went far beyond the stat sheet. Meanwhile, Lexi Hull continued her strong season, contributing 10 crucial points off the bench along with 4 assists, matching her career high. Hull's all-around performance silenced any doubts about the team's depth. The bench transformed from a potential weakness into a powerful weapon.
Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull are the real deal. That's what it does look like. It looks like these two off the bench, you can name whoever you want. These two ladies off the bench are going to be the most impactful duo in the WNBA, hands down. Hands down, these two are going to be the most impactful duo in the WNBA off the bench. They bring the energy, they bring the heat, they're able to score, they play defense.
The Fever's bench outscored Atlanta's by 16 points, a complete turnaround from their previous matchup, where the Dream's depth had been a major advantage. Players like Cunningham and Hull delivered crucial scoring and defensive plays, showcasing the Fever's newfound versatility and strength. This wasn't just a team win. It was clear proof that Indiana has transformed into a legitimate threat with multiple weapons ready to step up. When one player struggled, 3 others rose to fill the gap. The supporting cast didn't just survive Clark's off night. They thrived.
Stephanie White, folks, we were up 3 points in the last minute. Stephanie White puts Sophie and Lexi, and they say, press. In the last minute, Stephanie White says, Sophie, Lexi, press. Don't make it easy on them. Don't let them get into their offense. We gotta hassle them. We gotta haggle them. We gotta get on them. We need to force them to make decisions before they want to. And Sophie and Lexi did just that. Those two, great job tonight.
Clark's struggles actually revealed something far more important than any individual performance. This team has what it takes to win championships. Championship teams need multiple players who can take over games, depth that can withstand adversity, and role players who rise to stardom when the moment demands it. The Fever showed all these qualities in one road game against a tough opponent. Brittney Griner came into the matchup expecting to do exactly what she always does to smaller teams: dominate the paint. Standing 6 feet 9 inches, Griner should have been the most unstoppable force on the court. She had already proven her dominance against Indiana in their first meeting, and everyone knew Atlanta would feed her the ball early and often.
That's toughness on display. Fighting through it. It ain't always going to go your way. And then, like I said, some of the new players. I think Natasha Howard was excellent in this game. She was excellent in this game. And there were some, connections between her and Clark. Then there was Sophie Cunningham, who was also back for the first time, who's just an excellent all-around basketball player. And you could see it here. Clark with the get-ahead to Cunningham and the finish. I mean, Cece's just such a gifted passer.
The Fever didn't have a traditional center to match Griner's size, and Coach Stephanie White openly acknowledged the challenges her team faced against Atlanta's size advantage, especially with players like Griner and Brianna Jones. White stressed the importance of leveraging the Fever's versatility and depth to counter the Dream's physical edge, a strategic shift that proved vital for the rematch. But then something unusual happened. Every time Griner touched the ball, Indiana players swarmed her from all directions. The Fever's defensive approach was pure chaos theory. Help defense came from unexpected angles, players rotated relentlessly, and double teams appeared from spots that made no conventional basketball sense.
Damaris Dantas, 17 minutes. Yeah, 1 for 5. Stephanie White, again, to her credit. Did you see what she did today with Dantas? Did you see what she did tonight with Dantas? Brittney Griner, are you in? You're in? Cool, Dantas, get in there. Brittney Griner, you're out? Cool, Dantas, get out. Brittney Griner, you're coming back in? Cool, Dantas, get back in. Griner, you're out? Dantas, you're done here.
The Fever's defensive approach was what Coach White called a collective effort, marked by relentless physicality on every possession. Every time Griner touched the ball, it turned into a battle. Indiana players weren't afraid to commit fouls if it meant disrupting her rhythm. They made her fight for every single point. This intensity was a huge step up from their first meeting. The Fever out-rebounded the Dream 41-37, a massive turnaround, and held Atlanta to just 76 points on their home court. The improved physicality was clear for everyone to see that Griner's frustration grew with every missed shot and every whistle that didn't go her way. Her shots became tougher, her rhythm broken, and the wear and tear was evident on every possession.
I felt like our depth came into play there, being able to go to our bench and bring a different defensive coverage and intensity level, and that allowed us to get out in transition. I mean, we're going to be at our best when we're in transition, and I felt like in that second quarter we were able to get out a little bit.
With 3:38 left in the game, the inevitable happened. Brittney Griner fouled out, finishing with just 5 points and 7 rebounds. This marked the second time this season she'd fouled out against the Fever, making Indiana's defensive strategy unmistakably effective. Through sheer determination and team defense, the Fever successfully neutralized the Dream's biggest weapon. They forced Griner into tough spots all game long, turning every possession into a physical battle and wearing her down methodically. Once their star big walked to the bench in foul trouble, Atlanta's game plan unraveled. With their dominant inside presence sidelined, the Dream's ability to score in the paint disappeared, and their offensive rhythm was shattered. The Fever closed out the game confidently, knowing their primary scoring threat was off the floor when Atlanta needed her most.
Brittney Griner tried to post up Damaris and failed to post up Damaris. She tried to move Damaris off the block on defense. She failed to move Damaris off the block on defense. Damaris Danches isn't only a big body, she's a strong SOB. And Brittney Griner found that out firsthand tonight.
With tensions running high in this revenge game, Caitlin Clark and Ryan Howard found themselves in a heated face-to-face exchange that revealed just how fierce a competitor Clark truly is. After a hard foul, the two started exchanging words, and the cameras caught Clark saying something that perfectly captured her mindset in that intense moment.
Let's start with the one that's going to be shared everywhere.
Howard, the first overall pick back in 2022, was trying to intimidate the sophomore in a crucial road game. Tasked with guarding Clark all night, she made every possession physical. As a veteran, Howard was doing what veterans do, testing the mental toughness of young players. This kind of challenge is common when established stars want to see what rising talents are really made of.
Ryan Howard was up in her grill all game, and there's the bump, there's the physical challenge there, and some words. Some words for Clark. But if you could see, Clark has some words back, and those words, if you lip read appropriately, or it seems like from the lip readers out there, were, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not scared of you, I'm sorry.
But Clark looked Howard straight in the eyes and said, I'm not scared of you, with the kind of confidence that separates stars from superstars. She then put her shoulder into Howard's chest during the exchange, followed by a sarcastic thumbs up that made it clear she wasn't backing down from anyone. The moment was caught on camera and instantly went viral across social media.
I'm not scared of you. With that, and that's competing. That's good basketball. That's fine. Howard wanted the challenge. I loved it. I love that. You just can't let, people play Clark like they're bumping her at the line of scrimmage and not call a foul. You got to call those fouls. Get them in foul trouble.
This wasn't just trash talk. It was a declaration that the Fever's young core wouldn't be pushed around anymore. Clark's bold response sent a clear message to her teammates. They belong on this stage. She showed them how to handle the pressure from veteran players trying to intimidate them. The crowd at State Farm Arena grew louder after the exchange, and the game ramped up in physicality on both ends of the floor. Both teams began playing with playoff-level intensity, and emotional fire ignited, and that moment spread to every player on the court. The atmosphere became absolutely electric.